Hi, my name is Faylita Hicks, and I am the playwright of Bar for Bar, a choreo poem. Mama Dirtmouth is, at this point of her life, she's experienced a lot of grief, she's lost a lot of people, and she thinks she can use quantum theory to change the timeline. I hope you enjoy it. For those of us without houses or homes, this city charges after sundown a gritty coin for each eye.
If dreams are like mustard seeds planted in the womb of me, then while the wounds of me wound around my legs, I took the son of sun into my bed and we fed on visions. Verses visited my visage, climbed hot and sticky across my cleavage, leaving lesions and lines in time across my vessel.
We were investing.
He kept depositing and I kept charging like soil. Wet and weird, I told him here I am.
Sometimes in the city's silence, if you close your eyes, you can hear knuckles clip concrete, chip bricks into side streets. That's when, out of tune, the guttural groove of lyric climbs glacier out of another transient, transparent, still, even in the morning. It's always, where are you going? Where are you going? This city charges after sundown, but where I come from, we stay living in the light. We write with pens and chisels, clock out lead, and played out perception-laced pistols where I come from.
East side of Austin, under their breath, the city council still calls it the Negro District.
Jamaica. No, I'm playing. I'm from Queens.
Miami, mommy.
Fayetteville.
Louisville.
Somewhere between Old Block and Cottage Grove.
From the deep pockets of the universe, I come from God herself. See how fine I am? You got to know I'll bite back.
Shit.
I'm sorry. Wait. Excuse me? What'd you say, BB?
Nothing, ma'am. I was just showing something to Sean.
Sean, you got something you want to say?
Oh, no, ma'am. I was just saying how beautiful you were. Can I call you Mama?
Go ahead. Something else, Sean?
No, I'm good.
Good.
Good. Good morning, everybody. Can we get back to what we was doing? Good. Let's start with some breath work. Inhale and exhale.
May the light find you always.
Inhale and exhale.
May the light find you always.
Last time. Inhale and exhale.
May the light find you always.
May the light find.
Sean Bell, son of a million stars.
May the light find.
Trayvon Martin, the boy made of lightning.
May the light find.
George Floyd, the father of wind.
May the light find.
Breonna Taylor, the goddess known as Nuit. Sandra Bland, Erzulie Laflambeau. Corinne Gaines, the warrior. Susanna Chavez, the last blood.
May the light find.
Fred Hampton, the god known as Geb.
May the light find.
Amadou Diallo, not guilty.
May the light find. May the light find.
May the light find you always.
This city charges after sundown. But where I come from, we stay living in the light.
So in 2010, my fiance died in April of 2010, and 2 weeks later, I was driving from Austin, Texas to San Marcos, Texas. They're about 30 miles apart in Texas. And my car died on the side of the road. A police officer came over, asked me if I needed help, asked for my ID. Again, I was parked legally, so there was no reason for him to ask me for my ID, but he did. And I had a warrant for my arrest for a bounced $25 check I wrote to a grocery store. So at some point in my undergrad days, I had written a check to a grocery store and it had bounced and I didn't know. And because I'm a college student, I don't know if you know about being a college student, you move around a whole lot, you sleep on people's couches, mail is something that's just lost. I spent 45 days in the county jail before I saw a judge, so I was in there for pretrial. The effect of that particular charge meant that I wouldn't be able to get certain jobs, I couldn't go certain places. That happened in 2010. Several years later, Sandra Bland was not able to, she didn't make her turn signal. She was, talked to by a police officer. They took her in. The dash cam filmed it, but also she filmed her experience inside of the vehicle. And the note to know about Sandra Bland is that my fiance and Sandra Bland crossed into the fraternity and sorority on the same night at the same university. So I had been on those roads before, and I too had been in a car. And I was the alternate timeline of Sandra Bland. I could have been Sandra Bland. I could have been any number of people who were on the side of the road in their car. But I lived to tell the story and others didn't. And so the only additional person that was impacting this particular play is Trayvon Martin. I found out that I was pregnant 2 weeks before Trayvon Martin happened. And I wasn't sure what my decision would be. Was I gonna have this child? Was I going to do an adoption? And that terror of bringing a black child into this world and having that black child have to come into contact with all these different things. And again, this is after my arrest and after my fiance's passed. And so the combination of Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, my experience and my child being here in Chicago, I wanted to stitch all those things together. That grief that I felt before the child was even born with the understanding that she was coming into this world. I wanted to figure out where the happy ending was. What is the true liberation point? And that true liberation point for me was, we just get to live at the end of the story. That's it. That's the big coup to do, is Trayvon Martin goes to the corner store and comes home. That's it. Sandra Bland gets in her car, goes grocery shopping, goes to work in the morning. And so I try to tell the happy endings of these stories, understanding that there are real people who don't have those happy endings. So for theater, I actually always wanted to be an actor. I always wanted to get on stage, but I come from rural county in Texas, Hayes County. And in Texas, Black actors were not a thing. And in my freshman year of college, I found out that I would never hit main stage because they were only doing race-specific or ethnicity-specific roles, and there were no roles that were gonna allow me on stage. And I don't do backstage. And of course, that's my audacity, but I wanted to be on stage. And so spoken word allowed me to write my own monologues and get on stage and perform it every single week. And slowly but surely that turned into poetry, and then slowly but surely that turned into me just writing. But I've come back to it multiple times. I was an underground rapper, I toured the country, I met a lot of people, which is how I met my friends here in Chicago. One's a poet and one's a mom, and they are actually the people who adopted my child. And so that's a whole other story, but they asked me to move to Chicago so that the kid and I could get to know each other. And so I moved to Chicago for her. And now the story that I'm telling is very much about my personal experience with incarceration and me really thinking about this is something she will have to deal with. Not just my experience, but her walking through this community, her walking through this state, her walking through this world. It puts all of us at risk. And so Chicago has a special place in my heart and always has. So, my name is Faylita Hicks, and you just saw Bar for Bar, a choreo poem. Vote for me and stay in it.